Hey folks, China Guitar Skeptic back with another video about the copy Taylor K24ce, following on from the issues that we picked up in the unboxing video and the closer look and electric playthrough video, which was the last one that I delivered to you. Yes, despite the fact that Kevin Shee, the seller, knew who he was selling this to and that I would be reviewing it right here on YouTube, there were no less than 10 issues wrong with this guitar. The first one that I noticed was the terrible fretboard, all the damage around the 7th fret that made it look awful, the neck. And in fact, when on closer look, the neck was really not very nice, the fingerboard, as you probably saw in the closer look video. The second issue, the rattling tuners, where they were loose, where the headstock holes had been drilled too wide to accommodate the tuners, the tuning pegs. And so I had to tape up the tuning pegs to fill that gap and stop them rattling. Thirdly, the electronics, when they arrived, they were detached and rolling around inside the guitar. Again, with a little bit of tight bond, I've managed to fix that. One thing that I haven't been able to fix is the misalignment of the piezo pup, or piezo pup, or piezo pup. You can pronounce it how you like. I'm not sure how to. Anyway, the big problem that we had with that was that it doesn't actually sit under the low E string. And what's more, when I took the strings off and tried to push it through and fix it and align it better, I discovered that it's glued in. So it can't be fixed without breaking it, really. So that's another issue. Issue number 5. And this is very, very much thank you to VHVO, that's spelt VEEHVO, one of my subscribers, who very kindly spotted at 4 minutes 12 seconds into the closer look video that a piece of the bracing inside the guitar isn't glued properly and is detached. After getting your kind comment, I had a closer look and I also discovered that this wasn't the only place where that was detached, and also there was top bracing missing from around the edges on the horn. So this helped me a great deal with getting in touch with Kevin Shee and my negotiations over the dispute that I've raised. More about that in a minute. 6th item, there was poor edge finishing work where the laminated top, yes, that's number 7, laminated top, sides and back, not solid coa as it was sold as, which in the UK would be a breach, or serious breach of the Trade Description Act, but I guess they don't have that in the People's Republic of China. Anyway, going back to number 6, the poor edge, but with the binding, there's a nasty little fillet where you can see through the surface lamination and see the centre biscuit of the lamination underneath closing into the edges, and that was a real shame because it looks horrible. Number 8, if you look at this picture of the bridge, there seems to be a hole that's been filled where they've got the positioning of the peg heads wrong. And in fact, if you look at this other picture, you'll notice that the peg heads aren't even aligned. The low E seems to be a greater distance away than the others. So not very good detailing there. It may also explain why the pickup placement was wrong underneath the bridge or underneath the saddle, because it looks like they've got the positions of the peg heads wrong and filled that. Number 9, this is to do with the case. The white case looks great, but it's already falling apart. And if you see a picture here, this is where I have showed you how the neck rest should look in the case, but if you see the next picture, it's all very loose already. The door to the pocket is already loose. That post for the neck rest is already loose, which is a real shame. And also here, the final picture, the case locks don't align. They're very difficult to connect those up. You have to push the case lid shut, and if you notice on one of these pictures, that's because the latch on the case locks is not straight. So 10 things wrong. And it goes without saying that I've been in touch with Kevin Shee and I've raised a dispute over it, and it's that I want to report back on now. And it's also hopefully going to help some of you who also have problems and how to go about the dispute process. And I'd just like to cover that. I've done it in previous videos, but what I've done with this particular guitar is I've gone to Kevin. The golden rules are, number one, I've kept it absolutely polite and amicable. So I've explained what all the issues are, and I've explained what I expect in terms of resolution. I've sent lots of photo evidence. That's number 2 point. Always send lots and lots of photo evidence where you can. It does assist your case, especially if it goes to escalate and becomes vetted by an independent arbitrator at AliExpress. The more evidence you've sent, the better your case, and the more likely they'll settle in your favour or closer to it. Thirdly, he has been incredibly sorry and apologetic, and that's always a good sign. Especially if you're polite, they tend to want to put things right. I think if you are assertive but not rude, then you tend to get some results. And that's all I've been. I've been very assertive about the issues. I've listed out all of the issues that I list here, and I've shown them a lot of the pictures that I've shown you here, and I've also shown them stills from the closer look video, so they can see that that's up there and out there for everybody to see, and that you're watching it now. So that helped. And yeah, you've got to be prepared to negotiate and bargain. So as well as being assertive without being aggressive, I find it best to go in with a higher price or a higher refund than you expect or would settle for, and allow them to trade that down a little bit with you, and you'll eventually come to the figure that you really want. But you must start higher, I would suggest, and expect to bargain and meet in the middle. So, my news. Kevin, she has come back to me with lots of very quick replies, very polite, very amicable, and he's been a very, very good seller in that respect. I'm not going to recommend anybody, as always, but his approach to the issues that have been wrong with this guitar have been fantastic. He's come to me straight away, been very sorry, very apologetic, and after negotiating and bargaining and sending him lots of pictures, he's agreed to send me a replacement B-band pickup system, complete, so that I can break out the one that's in there and replace it and put it in the right position, free of charge. He's sending that to me. And he's also offered to give me $150 refund for all the other issues, so that I can have the bracing work done, and so that I can repair any of the bits that are repairable, and also slightly to compensate me for the trouble and time and effort of having those repairs done. So quite good news. Thank you again to Vivo for his spotting that additional problem with the bracing. That allowed me to bargain up and to negotiate a better refund. So really appreciate that, buddy. And yeah, I'll be back once I get the replacement B-band. I'll try and do a video showing you it being fitted, and also how I go about fixing that bracing, and it'll be no doubt using tight bond clamps and the like to fix that, which I will try to do myself, because these guitars aren't worth spending a lot of money with a professional luthier for, because they're just not the same as the real thing. I hope this message is coming across loud and clear the more videos I make. I will always be honest with you. This is by far and away, this Taylor copy is the nicest playing of the two acoustics I've had. Feels much better to play than the D45 fake. The action's nice. It seems to have better intonation, or at least the intonation is spot on. And I really do like the look, feel and sound of it. Plugged in, once the pickup is under the low E string, I think it will be a nice sounding guitar. It's got a good tonal range right across the bass, middle and treble ranges, and the B-band control is incredibly versatile. So there are a lot of positives for this guitar, but as ever folks, it's not been perfect out of the box, and you really do get what you pay for. I hope this, as all the other videos, I hope, have been interesting and informative, and have helped to inform your decision over whether or not to waste your money on buying Chinese copies. I will never recommend it and never suggest that it's a good idea. Always go down to your local guitar store and hold it in your hands and play it, because the name matters not a jot. It's what it feels like to you to play. And all of my favourite guitars have not been necessarily major brands. They've been guitars that have been fun and felt good to play, which is what we should all be enjoying. Anyway, I'm not going to preach at you. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks as always for subscribing and for liking, and looking forward to seeing and answering your comments in the comments section down below. Take care, folks, and I'll be back soon. Hopefully with a Partacaster video, but definitely with another unboxing coming up. Stay tuned.
So, Fat Man, who is this China guitar skeptic fellow?
I have absolutely no idea, but I am going to subscribe to his channel.
Oh, good idea. You know what? I might even join you.